Hey guys, this is a video that one of my subscribers asked me to do. My bad voodoo. He's a new subscriber. On my homepage, I say that the baby boomer generation, my generation, is the greatest generation, and he asked me to make a video about it, and I am. I've made some notes, so I'm going to put my glasses on. You know, you get to a certain age. What can I tell you? So I've made some notes, and I'm going to read them to you. And I really want you guys to listen, because the younger people, the younger guys, my friends, this all pertains to you, because literally we did start it all. And I'm going to tell you why we started it all. We were the very first generation, listen to this, we were the very first generation to live with the fear of no tomorrow, which means we thought a button was going to be pushed, and by tomorrow we were going to be wiped out by a nuclear war. And because of that, everything changed. Let me just start by saying this. If you were born between the years 1945 and 1964, you're considered a baby boomer. And that's due to our men in World War II and then the Korean War coming home, making families, having babies. And they had babies. They had us. A lot of us. We grew up in the 50s. We were watching things like Leave It to Beaver, Father Knows Best, great shows. I still love them. And the 50s was really a very calm area. We were young. We were still kids. We were growing up. But then the 60s hit. We protested everything. We got into our teens, and all of a sudden we started questioning everything around us. The fact that we were very, very strong in number, I guess maybe that was one of the reasons. We were extremely liberal. Our parents were not. And so because of that, we rebelled, and we rebelled majorly. We protested the Vietnam War, and I really believe that it's because of us that that war ended. We questioned everything. We were the ones who questioned the Nixon administration, and I believe that we are a major reason why that administration fell. When we protested the Vietnam War, that also ended the draft. That was in 1973. So we had a direct cause for that. Also, we were the very first generation that was raised on TV. Now, you have to think about that, because a lot of stuff was on TV that we questioned and we didn't agree with. And so, therefore, we went ahead, and once we got into college, we started protesting in a major way. Rock and roll, free love, flower power, we were the hippies. We were the ones who tried everything, experimented with everything, not necessarily the right thing, but we did it. We wanted to find out what everything was. We were probably the most curious generation, I believe, so far that has come around, and we still are. We were very liberal. As I said, we questioned everything. Now, Woodstock came around. Woodstock was a concert that was held in the late 60s. I'm talking about the first Woodstock now. Where everybody got together for 3 days and went wild. It wasn't just a concert. It was great, but it was not just a concert. It really did provide us a forum for everything we believed in to be able to speak about and to judge and to ask about. It gave us reason to band together and really start to question what was going on around us. For instance, out of all of that came the Civil Rights Movement. Also, out of all of that came the feminist movement. We did that. The gay rights movement. We did that. Also, the right to privacy, and I believe that the right to privacy was then initiated as a law. I'm not quite sure. I have to look it up, but there was it was introduced as a law as for us. In other words, right to privacy from our government. And even though that's going away a little bit right now, it's going to come back. That's something that we all should have, a right to privacy. Now, we all now, at this moment in time, make up the lion's share of political, cultural, and industrial and academic leadership in this country. That's a pretty big base. Some of the boomers that were included, so that you can get some sort of idea of who we were Bob Dylan, Joan Baez, Janis Joplin, Billy Joel, Jimi Hendrix, Robert Plant, Jim Morrison, Madonna, Jerry Seinfeld, and yes, George Bush, and plenty others. That'll kind of give you an idea of who we are when you think of it as a group. We were extremely free-spirited. When we experimented with drugs, it wasn't to get a high, although it was to get a high. We were really experimenting. We wanted to find out what it was all about, and we did. We set trends. We changed the way people did research. We commented on every issue in the world, and we didn't keep our mouths shut. We were not afraid to keep our mouths shut. So therefore, because of us, a lot of different laws were changed. Roe v. Wade, for instance, this all came from baby boomers. In the future, we're going to revolutionize retirement, because we're getting older now, and that's an issue for us, and healthcare, plus other things. We're now getting older, and I still love the phrase baby boomer because it makes me feel really young. As I said to you before, we were also the generation that really believed tomorrow was never going to come. I mean, we really believed that that button was going to be pushed and a nuclear war was going to kill us tonight. I can remember in grade school having to duck under our desks because that was the drill. You got under your desks. Once you heard the horns, fallout shelters were everywhere. Nuclear bomb was going to fall on the United States, and it was going to come from Russia. That was probably one of the scariest times I can remember. 911 was very scary. The terrorists today are very scary. But we were kids, and this was our first time dealing with stuff like this, and we really didn't like it. So we opened our voices, and some changes happened. Boundaries were challenged. Everything was challenged. More baby boomers went to college than the generation before us because our parents had more money and was able to send us to college, which gave us more time to think and question and to speak about things that interested us, not our parents, but us. Our final chapter really hasn't been written yet. We're still here. Even though things might look bleak right now, I can tell you and I can promise you right now that we really haven't changed. We've become a little bit more conservative, maybe, than we were back in the 60s, but our basic beliefs are still here. So I just wanted to give you an overview of what the baby boomers are. We definitely were the kids who put a flower in every gun, rifle. You've seen the pictures that our soldiers were holding, and we were definitely the ones who protested the Vietnam War because we felt it was immoral. More or less, that's it for now. I just wanted you guys to understand that we're a generation that's very different from any generation that's come before, and anything that comes past us, I really believe is going to be an offshoot of us. Now, I may have to do a sequel to this. I don't know. I'll see what kind of remarks I get, but more or less, there's a lot to get in there, but more or less, that's us. And I hope you understand us now.